Despite centuries of discovery, the world is still full of mysteries that science can't fully explain. From eerie sounds in the deep ocean to lost civilizations that vanish without a trace, these enigmas remind us how little we really know about our planet and ourselves. Today, we're counting down the top 10 unsolved mysteries that continue to baffle scientists to this very day. The WOW signal. In 1977, an astronomer scanning the skies with a giant radio telescope picked up a 72-second signal from deep space. It was so strong and unusual that he circled it on the data printout and wrote one word in the margin: "Wow!" And that's how it got its name. For decades, scientists have debated where the WOW signal came from. Was it a natural cosmic phenomenon, a reflection from Earth, or could it have been a message from intelligent life? What makes it so puzzling is that the signal has never been detected again, despite repeated attempts. Some researchers think it came from a comet. Others argue it could have been an alien transmission accidentally overheard. But with no repeat, the truth remains elusive. The WOW signal stands as one of the greatest space mysteries, a fleeting moment that teases the possibility we might not be alone. Voynich manuscript. Discovered in the early 1900s, the Voynich manuscript is a 240-page book filled with bizarre illustrations of unknown plants, astronomical diagrams, and text written in a language no one has ever been able to decode. Linguists, historians, and even modern AI systems have tried to crack it, but the script follows no known alphabet, grammar, or syntax. Some think it's a medical text. Others believe it's an elaborate hoax. But carbon dating shows the manuscript is real, written sometime in the early 1400s. The strangest part? Even the drawings don't match anything we know. Plants that don't exist. Zodiac charts that don't align with any system. It's as if the book was written by someone from another world, or at least from a culture completely lost to history. Until someone cracks its code, the Voynich manuscript remains an open mystery. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, divers off the coast of Greece discovered what looked like a lump of corroded bronze inside an ancient shipwreck. When scientists studied it, they realized it was a mechanical device with gears and dials, an ancient Greek machine that's now considered the world's first computer. Known as the Antikythera mechanism, it was built over 2,000 years ago and could predict eclipses, track planetary movements, and even calculate Olympic Games schedules. What's baffling is that nothing close to its complexity appeared again in history until over 1,000 years later. How did ancient Greeks develop such advanced technology, and why didn't it spread? Some think it was the work of a forgotten genius. Others wonder if entire schools of ancient engineering knowledge were lost to history. To this day, the Antikythera mechanism raises more questions than answers. The Devil's Kettle Waterfall. In Minnesota, there's a waterfall that splits into two streams. One half flows normally into a river. The other half pours into a giant hole in the rock, called the Devil's Kettle, and completely disappears. For years, scientists tried to solve the mystery. They dropped dye, ping-pong balls, even GPS trackers into the hole. None ever emerged downstream. It was as if the water simply vanished from existence. Recent studies suggest the water probably rejoins the river underground, but no one has ever been able to prove it with absolute certainty. The Devil's Kettle remains a reminder that even in our modern world, nature still hides secrets we can't fully map. The Tunguska event. On a summer morning in 1908, a massive explosion flattened 80 million trees across 800 square miles of Siberian forest. Witnesses saw a fireball streaking through the sky, followed by a shock wave that could be felt hundreds of miles away. The explosion was so powerful it rivaled a nuclear bomb, yet no crater was ever found. Scientists believe it was caused by a comet or asteroid exploding in the atmosphere, but without physical evidence, the case remains speculative. The Tunguska event is still one of the greatest mysteries of astronomy and geology, proof that Earth is vulnerable to cosmic surprises we barely understand. The Sailing Stones of Death Valley. In California's Death Valley, massive rocks weighing hundreds of pounds mysteriously move across the desert floor, leaving long tracks in the sand. For decades, no one could explain how lifeless stones could seemingly glide on their own. Some believed it was aliens. Others thought it was magnetic forces. Eventually, scientists discovered that thin layers of ice form under the rocks during rare cold nights. As the ice melts and the wind blows, the rocks slowly slide, leaving trails behind. But even with this explanation, the phenomenon remains haunting to witness. Imagine walking across a desert and seeing massive rocks that have walked miles on their own. It's no wonder it's one of Earth's strangest mysteries. The lost city of Atlantis. Plato first wrote about Atlantis over 2,000 years ago, a magnificent island civilization that supposedly sank beneath the waves in a single day and night. Since then, explorers and scientists have searched for evidence of this legendary city. Some say it was a real place destroyed by volcanic eruptions or tsunamis. Others think it was entirely fictional, a metaphor for human hubris. What's fascinating is that similar stories of lost cities appear in many cultures, from South America to Asia. While no definitive evidence of Atlantis has ever been found, the legend continues to inspire treasure hunters, historians, and filmmakers alike. The mystery isn't just about whether Atlantis existed, but why the story has endured for thousands of years. The Diet Law Pass Incident. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers set out into the snowy Ural Mountains of Russia. Weeks later, rescuers found their campsite abandoned in chaos. The hikers' tent had been slashed open from the inside. Their bodies were scattered across the mountainside, some half-dressed in freezing temperatures. Even stranger, several had severe injuries, skulls fractured, ribs broken, yet no signs of struggle or external wounds. One hiker's tongue was missing. Soviet investigators at the time ruled it a compelling natural force, but gave no explanation. Theories have ranged from avalanche to military experiments, UFOs, and even secret weapons testing. To this day, no single theory explains all the evidence. The Diet Law of Pass remains one of the most chilling and enduring mysteries of the 20th century. The Phaistos Disc. At the top of our list is a small clay disc discovered on the island of Crete in 1908. Known as the Phaistos Disc, it's covered with 241 mysterious symbols arranged in a spiral pattern. No one knows what the symbols mean. They don't match any known language or writing system. Some experts think it's an ancient prayer. Others say it to be a board game, or even a hoax planted in the archaeological record. What makes it so mysterious is that it remains completely unique. No other artifact with the same writing has ever been found. Without context, the disc is like a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Over 100 years later, the Phaistos Disc continues to mock scientists with its silence, keeping its secret locked away. And there you have it, 10 of the world's most baffling mysteries, each one still defying explanation. From cosmic signals to lost civilizations, these enigmas remind us that for all our science and technology, there's still so much we don't understand. Which of these mysteries do you think will be solved in our lifetime, and which ones might never be? Let me know in the comments below.